Recording. The yard I worked on last year, repositioned the sidewalks so they catch the drip from the garage. Oh. A porch that needs a new cover. And this yard that is finally grassing over. I stripped the grass off it so I could resod the foundation. There seems to be a high humidity problem with this house. I wasn't aware of it, but you'll run 70 degrees humidity in the basement in the summer, 50 I guess in the winter. And when I came here, there was nothing done except this needed to be done. It was shrunken. I guess I added, 3 inches? I dug sodded grass out of high areas, especially by the sidewalks, and I laid it up against the foundation. I guess I gained 3 inches or more, and it has made a big difference. I think this year my basement didn't get nearly quite as humid as it would have. I think this was a problem. The overhang didn't acquire this huge ice shelf that it normally does. I'm not sure how it's all connected, because the only thing that I can see they did in the basement was they painted, it seems to be waterproofing paint. The walls are gray. So I think they tried. I also added 3 inches to this. Anywhere it looked a little bit low, I took out of the high areas of the yard. This was a mess. I took that patio fence down because it was closed off. And when it's closed off, there's no ventilation, no air circulation, which may have contributed to the high humidity. And this is the area where the neighbor's sewer line comes down right here and runs down the hill. And I thought that water was running in the gravel bed of the deep line, but maybe not. Maybe it's just the fact that I don't have any gutters, and the drip rail puts substantial water into ground. Here I rocked it. The front has pieces of wood laying in the drip rail. I added it here too. And I particularly paid attention to the slope of this yard. For some reason, when they put that patio fence up, and here's 2 posts I haven't yet been able to take down, when they dug the holes and put it up, they just left heaps of dirt laying in the yard. And of course that dirt challenged the very minimal slope the house probably had, and it actually funneled water to the house. There was a huge hole there I filled up. So let's assume that what I did actually helped. Last winter, no huge big ice dam built up there. I was really surprised because I haven't really added insulation in the basement to those empty joist boxes where they pulled it out to repair that door. I thought, well, I'll pay for that, but not especially. I've also got a beautiful entryway down now. It's really nice. I've done a lot of work. And there's my cat, who brought me a baby rabbit just a little bit ago. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Well, I'm still hoping that we can remove that concrete at some point in time and bring the deck out from there to about right here, where I uncovered these tree roots because they thought the answer to tree roots on the ground was to lay huge amounts of dirt over them, which really just funneled water to that sidewalk that slanted to the basement. That's the last big problem. That has to be removed because that is draining water. It doesn't do it rapidly, it doesn't do it quickly, but a day after a heavy rain, it'll start seeping down, and you can tell there's a line from the basement wall on the floor, not from the wall, it's never on the wall, on the floor, because this water must run down to the very bottom of the wall and then creep through the floor. And there it goes right to the floor drain for some reason. And I'm still hoping to deck this. I don't have any estimates. Oh, I don't know what the problem is. You can mow this from north to south now. And I do think that you probably can build over the garage. Put a second story on that. That's assuming you can cut that dead pine. Actually, all of those rows of pines, there's 6 of them in a row, need to be cut because they're a danger to the house. But that one especially, before you do anything with the garage. And then I have one more thing to show you. The yard is very nice. I've worked very hard on it. Very hard on it. I don't think I'll do anything that hard ever again now that I'm 70. I don't intend to. I don't really want to leave this house except that it's located in a place that has 6 months of winter. It would be wonderful if it was located in Tennessee or Kentucky, but it's not. And I have to cope with 6 months of winter that is extremely hard. And I don't know what's wrong with the furnace, but the fact there's just that little bit of area on either side of the garage to give air to that bowl of the yard, and I think it gets trapped. The carbon dioxide exhaust gets trapped and not refreshed with air, and when it draws in the same area, it draws in spent carbon dioxide, and then the furnace has to labor to try to get enough air to combust properly. Runs all the time. It's cheap gas, but the electricity is not cheap. I just paid a $300 light bill for 30 days from the 15th of May to the 15th of June. $300. It's $288 something. And the only thing that is I had run my little electric oil heater at 66 degrees on low setting because the house had extremely high humidity. The rain had built up and water in that sidewalk, I guess, made high humidity in the basement, which went upstairs. But at any rate, I had to have that little bit of warmth to offset it, but $300? Well, in the future, you see this assortment of buried limbs here from this Osage orange or ash leaf maple, whichever it is. If you cut those off about 3 foot above the ground right here using this one, you could build a platform out there and make a beautiful summer pergola screen house. Would be really nice. A little bit close to the road, but you can plant some shrubs. Oh, that hunter. What is she looking for now? And here's the area that I repaired. This is supposed to have a drain comes from the underneath the blacktop to kind of in this area. There's where the remnants of it. But I think when they dumped all this fill, they clogged it or something, and it doesn't drain the way it should. So I decided that I should protect my property and started making a drain at the side of the road. Instead of just casual, I made it channeled. And whenever it got too deep, I rocked it. And then down here at the very end, past the fire hydrant, all this area I filled in to add to my property. I started channeling it. And after a year of working on this consistently, it channels water beautifully. You'd think the city had installed it. It does such a beautiful job. And runs it right down here at the side, which is what I want. I did not want it washing over into this low area and scouring the hillside. I kind of like my little secret arbor there. It's very nice. Has an overhang of honeysuckle branches, and then it's kind of has a secret little spot in there. It's a bower. So I don't know. It's turning out really well, and I've worked really hard, but I'm done. And I'd like to be able to spend my winters in the south now, but there are things that need to be done. Those pines lining the road up here are a danger to the house. They need to come down. Whatever's wrong with the furnace needs to have a new furnace, it needs to have the chimney repaired, the exhaust go out through the roof, because this putting exhaust into this bowl next to the house is dangerous. That needs to stop. That's really dangerous. In a 5-mile-an-hour wind or above, your house chills out immediately. There was some mention of doing a blower door test when I moved in here, but I think maybe I'd learn more from an infrared, especially in the wind, because if it's leaking somewhere, and it should, because it was built with a wood furnace in the basement and they needed to have that air to have it combust correctly. So I don't know how it was built. I mean, it's just a guess. But in a wind, it chills off immediately. It does. I haven't been upstairs. I have no idea what the condition is up there. Seems to me that there should be some vents from the soffit to above the insulation, and I haven't been able to tell, and my inspector didn't look at it, so I'm just left up in the air. But at any rate, all the landscaping is done. You can put more fill in here and add another piece of dead pine to where it's pretty much leveled out, and it would help support the drain that you're going to have to maintain from now until forever, because the city's never going to put in a storm sewer here. They have a sanitary sewer from that house and this one down to that, but the rest of us have to use one that runs through the back of my property and down. Oh well, as long as I put more dirt here, I'd say this needs another 3 foot, which levels it up, and that would pretty much take care of any wash that would prevent it from going downhill and preserve that. Nice area.